Hi, legends. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin together. And as per the thumbnail, Bitcoin is a little bit in a pickle over here. And I will explain to you exactly what I mean by Bitcoin is in a pickle, right? We have something playing out on the larger time frames, and we also have something playing out on this recent price action, which looks like a bearish scenario over here, but maybe it could be a bullish scenario based on the pickle that we find ourselves in. So I know you're curious. Stay tuned until the end of the show. Do not miss out on any alpha. Smash up the like on your way in. And let me say hi to the beautiful community. Frank, hi, Devil and Legends, first to like. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you being here. Mr. Crypto Big Brains, welcome to the live stream. Fun fact, yes, I also posted the fun fact. And right, September, yes, has been the most bearish month in the history in the last decade of Bitcoin. I think, like you said, Mr. Big Brains, in the last 11 years, we've only had 4 green months in September. Will this time be different? Okay, perhaps we can have 5 green months. You just never know. Great words. Hi, Devolt. Are you happy with this market? Yes, I am, because I had 2 successful trades today. So I'm very happy with the market at the moment. And I think it's very important to note that, and I often say this during my live streams, I don't care if the price is going up or down. I don't care if we're going down to $25,000. I don't care if we're going to $100,000. Yes, I do have spot bags, and it is nice to get profits in the bags. And if we go down lower, that is why I always have dry powder to buy the dips. But from a trading perspective, I just need volatility. I just need the price to move either to the upside or to the downside. As a day trader, you don't care whether the price is going to $40,000 or whether it's going to $100,000, because you make money with the levels that you've got in your technical analysis. And from a day trading perspective, you just need volatility, whether that's up or down, and you can make money. Okay, and a lot of people don't understand it, because most people look at Bitcoin from an investment perspective. They look at it from an investment perspective. They've got spot bags, they've bought maybe during the bear market, and they want to see momentum go up, right? Everyone just wants to long the whole time. But from a day trading perspective, if you are a day trader and you need to trade to pay your bills at the end of the month, you don't care. Price just needs to move. Okay, the worst thing for a day trader is when price just goes sideways in a very small range, giving you those 1% up, 1% down. That is a frustrating market for me, and at the moment I'm getting nice volatility, so I'm happy with what the market is offering here at the moment. 2 successful trades today, and right, let's see if the streak can continue. I am currently in a short, and I'll tell you guys now why I'm shorting the market. You might be asking, why, Devil, you're entering a short? We've broken out. Things look good. Okay, but it's a small scalp. Okay, it's a really small scalp here to the downside that I'm currently in. Let me just check if I am in profits over here. Yes, currently in profits in my long and in my short, but I've already taken 80% profits on my long. Just left some of the position open for higher levels. So let's see how this plays out. Smash up the like. Let's get into it. And let me share my screen over here. Right. Legends, I'm going to share the pickle in a moment. So let's just quickly go through some technical analysis, what I see here on the price of Bitcoin, and why I entered a long over here, and why I entered a short over here. And this morning, I also played a short over here, and I took profits by the low. Small little trade, but I mean, with a little bit of leverage, you can make still significant gains from a day trading perspective with good risk management. Okay, so this was my first trade early this morning, and then I entered a long over here together with the legends in the Discord Legends community. I told the legends, okay, if we get, okay, let's go through the setups over here and take you through my thinking today from a trading perspective. Let's go on to the 5-minute time frame. Right, so I was looking at this structure over here. Let me just let that volume session profile load up. Okay, cool. So first thing I did is I tracked this trend here to the upside. Okay, that's the first thing I did this morning. And then I saw, it looks a little bit like a contracting diagonal or a leading diagonal, leading contracting diagonal. Okay, and I was like, well, it has a chance for higher levels. I like, and usually with a leading contracting diagonal, okay, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's perfectly fine for the fifth wave to overshoot outside of the diagonal. So when I saw the price come down, I was like, okay, I'm going to short this level if we break down, okay, because you might just have another A, B, C, and then you smack back down. And then when we broke the trend, I shorted and I planned to take profits by the low. We hit the low, I cashed out my position, and then I left a little bit open. I took like 90%. I took majority of the profits down here, and then I got stopped out. Okay, when we had the momentum here to the upside. So successful trade. Okay, so this is why I'm saying I can short and long. I don't care if the market's going up or down. Then in our Legends Discord community this morning, if you'd like to join our Legends Discord community, first link down in the description. I told the Legends, okay, we have a high time frame candle. If we get a 15-minute, 1 hour candle close above the value area high and above the naked point of control, I will long the retracement. And you can also see we bounced here beautifully on the trend that we've broken out from. I'm going to long this zone. And I did. I longed the zone. As we got the acceptance back above, I had my stop below the low, and then nice little breakout here to the upside and beautiful retest. And then I also kept an eye on this trend over here, and my strategy over here is that if we break this trend successfully, I'm going to add to my position, and that is exactly what I did. So my entry got moved up. I added to my position. It moved up my entry to about halfway because I added 50% more cash, and then I took profits here by the highs. This is where, well, actually a little bit higher. I'll show you now exactly where I took profits. When you take a fib extension from the low to the high to the low, I took profits here by the 618. 1.618. This is where I took 80% of my profits and I left some of the position open. And this is also why I entered a short, because this looks to me like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 5 completed waves to the upside. Also, we have tapped a 1.618, and I know how powerful these levels are. If you've been following me for a while, you know exactly 1.618 levels are extremely powerful. So this is why I entered the short at this level, and it's also a swing failure from these highs over here. So I entered a small little short over here, not aggressive at all. Okay, my position is already protected, and I'm speculating on an ABC here to the downside. Right. So a couple of three successful trades here in the bag so far. And that's why I say people get obsessed about it's going to $40,000, it's going to $40,000, and they get numb by the process. They don't want to buy. They're waiting for that level. And I remember when Bitcoin was at the bear market lows of, what was it, $16,000, right? I can't remember the exact number. Let's go have a look. At the bear market lows of $15,300, let's say $15,400, there were so many people calling for $10,000, for $9,000. A lot of bears were saying, we're going down further, we're going down further, we're going down further. And then we got an epic bounce here to the upside, where we are now at $58,000. Okay, so don't be that person. Don't be that person that's waiting for this level to get hit, and it does not get hit. Because I must be honest with you guys, it kind of feels like everyone is calling for $40,000 where we are at the moment. What if we don't get it? Okay, that is why it's so important from a day trading perspective. With good risk management, you can play the market up and to the downside. You don't care whether we're going down here or whether we're going up here. You just need volatility. You need the price to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And with levels and daily levels and weekly levels, you can make money, okay, from a day trading perspective. Right. Now, what I want to discuss now is one of two things quickly. Let me just take the fibs here out the way. So now I've gone through some of the technical analysis here on the smaller time frames. And before I analyze it any further here at the moment, so I have showed you guys that I'm currently in a short, okay? I've shorted this 1.618 level over here. It looks like this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be an ABC, and maybe it stays above the trend. The ABC correction stays above the trend, and then we have another explosion here to the upside. Basically a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you tap the top and you reject. As per my update this morning as well, I'm still looking for us to potentially tap the top of the range or get rejected here. Okay, by the monthly and weekly point of control in confluence with a point of control of this entire range that we've been in. This is where the most amount of volume was traded. So these are basically the trading setups that I'm watching, is to say that if we stay above trend and I start seeing some bullish CVD between this pivot and this pivot, I might consider another long over here, anticipating that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, a bigger impulse here to the upside. And this could definitely be the reversal of something big over here. We just don't know, right? With good risk management, we can speculate and we can play the momentum here to the upside, because, I mean, we have to acknowledge that we have broken out of a bullish pennant. Okay, we are currently still trading above. So this could definitely still give us upwards momentum. And although I'm saying it's going to potentially still give us upwards momentum, I'm in a short. Okay, but I know exactly where I need to take profits, and my position is already protected. So if I do get stopped out, I lose no money. Okay, so before we go and analyze the situation a little bit further over here, the reason why we're in a pickle, and maybe before I get to that, I just need some advice from you guys. Okay, I get the weirdest comments sometimes on my YouTube videos, and I just want to share one of these comments or two of these comments. I get this comment often from people saying that, thank you so much for the amazing video. They always start off very happy and so forth. And then a quick question. They have money in SafePal or PayPal, whatever the case might be. Here's the seed phrase. How do they transfer the money to a wallet or to Binance or to Coinbase or to whichever exchange? So I'm not sure if this is spam, but I get these comments quite often. So I'm not sure what the people are trying to achieve by sending me comments like this. Okay, so maybe you guys know. Let me know in the comments. What is up with this comment? I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Okay, and then I have a person also that says, TA has no life. It's all about manipulation. Okay, then as a day trader, I should not be making money. So even if the market is all about manipulation, you can still trade successfully with good risk management and the decision points from a daily, weekly point of control perspective. Okay, so I've explained to you guys how I've entered multiple trades in this small little range over here where I've had multiple successful trades. So if the market is manipulated and you are taking that as a negative thing as to not trade, then don't, okay? Don't trade. Just don't trade. You believe the market is manipulated, then don't trade. It's as simple as that. I'm not sure what you're trying to achieve by writing a comment like this. Yes, the market might be manipulated, but as a day trader, as a successful day trader, I can still make money. Okay, because the price of Bitcoin still respects the levels. Okay, and with good risk management, that's what keeps us in the game. Right, so I just needed to share these two comments. There was another comment, but I can't find it now. It looks like the person deleted it. Maybe he realized what he wrote. Anyways, but I must say, mostly the comments here are positive. I appreciate you guys writing comments after the streams, after the pre-recorded videos that I upload. So thank you so much. Please ignore the comment. For anyone to know anything, Google or YouTube are there to know whether they want to know. Okay. More time, they are scammers, please ignore. So I can delete this comment. I think what I'm actually going to do is, I'm not sure if I'm signed in here with my main profile. Yes, so I can actually, let me do this, delete this comment, right? And I will just show this person some love, right? Don't feel like deleting that one. Show all these people some love, right? Okay, also remember, legends, down in the description, the exchanges that I use is Bluffin with a 10% cash back. This limit or this offer is only for a limited time, I think until the 12th of September. Where whichever amount of money you put into your features account on Bluffin, you will get 10% cash back to trade with. Okay, you can unfortunately not withdraw that cash, but you can trade with it and you can keep the profits, or you can use it to cover your fees. So I think quite a nice incentive here, and it's only for a limited time. So go down, no KYC required. You trade in a couple of minutes, put some money in there to benefit from this amazing deal. It's not going to last forever. And here's that link for our Legends trading community. You select that. There's a sexy video about myself and Andy. There's a free Discord community and the Legends Pro for a monthly fee where myself and Andy do daily technical analysis. So go join and hope to see you inside. Okay, Legends, now let's get to the juicy part, okay? The juicy part. Why is Bitcoin in a pickle? So before we go and discuss the smaller time frames, let me switch off and clean up the charts over here. Okay, let me do this. I'm just not sure where that fixed range profile is. Let me smack this into my today analysis and switch that off. Okay, the first thing I want to discuss here is on the daily time frame. Okay, and please bear with me, but it is really interesting, and that's hence the thumbnail. We are in a pickle. I want to quickly take us back to when the bull market started. Okay, when you have the end of a correction, okay, or a bear market and the start of the bull market, you want to see, okay, so I can just imagine when price came tumbling down here, right? And I'm building up and I'm getting to the crux of what I'm trying to get and portray over here is that when we started the bear market here to the downside, you can clearly see we have impulses to the downside, corrections to the upside, impulses to the downside, corrections, and it just continues. And then we found this side of sideways consolidation, okay? And then when we made the last low over here, you can clearly see, okay, when I zoom into this price action, when the market starts turning around, okay, we had a double bottom over here. Can you guys see a double bottom? But then the impulses start almost immediately where you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also when you take a fib, okay, when I zoom into this price action, I take a fib, a normal Fibonacci from the low to the high that we've made over here. You can also see beautiful retracement inside of the golden zone, okay, not tapping the 0.88. And also this bigger wave one here, the 1, 2, big up here, you can also take a Fibonacci and then you can see, well, you know, we just bounced in beautiful zones confirming momentum to the upside. We never came back to tap the 0.88 because the 0.88 in Elliott wave theory increases the probabilities that you're not in an impulse and any move away is corrective. Okay, so you can see you end the bear market and you immediately start impulses to the upside. And so it carries on to where we are right now. So what you would expect for the bears, right? And this is why we are in a pickle at the moment. When you go up and you go up and you go up and you go up, right? And some people are saying that the bull market is over. What the hell is this? There are no impulses to the downside. Okay? First thing is from the high to the low, 0.88. Okay? 0.88. Another fib. From this high to the low, 0.88. Okay? Another fib from the highs to the lows, 0.88. Now for the first time, where price is over here, now we have all of the sardines, we have a golden pocket retracement. But this doesn't really make sense because if I start counting the waves to see, well, can we get impulses to the downside? Because I cannot just count this structure for impulse to the downside. I have to look at the entire structure, like I've just shown you at the beginning of the bull market. And the only way that this could potentially work to the downside is because of all these 0.88 retracements over here. Okay, and this now being the first golden pocket retracement, it kind of looks like this scenario over here. Where did I put it? Here we go. Okay, so first of all is expanding trumpet diagonals in Elliott wave theory is extremely, extremely rare. And Elliott wave theory international states that if all other scenarios fail, this is the scenario that you look at. Okay, right. So where you now potentially have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you making an A, B, C correction to the upside, and now you want to start creating impulses to the downside. So yes, there is a scenario which I'm sharing with you now that we can go down to lower levels and that the bull market is finished. But why is it starting with such a rare pattern that if all other scenarios fail, then you revert to this scenario over here? And unfortunately, or fortunately for the bulls, all scenarios have not failed yet. Okay, and the scenario that has not failed yet is the scenario that I've shared with you guys many, many times, is this one over here. Okay, when I zoom out, this scenario has still not failed. Let me just take the brushes here out the way. Okay, I can still clearly count a 1, 2, 3, and this is still a valid fourth wave. Okay, even here tapping the 50% fib level for us to still go and complete a fifth wave. So because this scenario has not failed yet, this scenario I don't even look at, because Elliott wave theory international states from a rule perspective, if all other scenarios fail, all scenarios, and there's a couple of other scenarios as well, which I haven't even shared here yet, then you look at expanding diagonals. Okay, especially on larger time frames like the 1 day and the weekly time frame. I have seen expanding diagonals on smaller time frames. It doesn't happen often, but I have seen it. I've never seen an expanding diagonal on the daily time frame on Bitcoin. Ever. I have not seen it. Okay. And if there's an experienced Elliott wave counter out there that can show me an expanding diagonal on the daily or weekly time frame, please share it with me. I'm all ears. Right. So specifically on larger time frames, because there's a saying in trading that says the larger the time frame you're analyzing, the more accurate it becomes. Okay, and the less rules gets broken. It's on the 1 minute and 5 minute and 15-minute time frame that you always see the fake outs and, oh, it wasn't supposed to do this or whatever the case might be. But on a daily time frame, you really don't want to be looking at expanding diagonals, okay, that I'm painting here from a bearish perspective, where you're building a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, or W, X, Y, and you're going to continue momentum here to the downside to go and hit $9,000 and close that CME gap that everyone is still eyeing down there. Right? So I am not looking at this scenario just as yet. So it does have a probability of playing out, but it has the lowest probability for now because all scenarios have not failed yet. And this bullish scenario on the green structure that I've got over here is still very much in play. Okay, hope that makes sense. So that's the one pickle we find ourselves in, that I see a lot of people calling for lower levels, but this structure is still intact and it hasn't broken, okay, the invalidation here by the 618. And I would even argue, even if we hit the 618 over here, the structure will still be valid as long as we form a higher low compared to this low. Okay, or even make a double bottom, but it must just not make a lower low, an obvious lower low, right? So I would say this entire zone over here is still perfectly fine for bullish continuation to the upside before you even consider a bearish structure that has such a rare probability of playing out that, according to what I've seen on the price of Bitcoin since 2010, we've never had an expanding diagonal like this on the 1 day time frame, weekly or monthly. Okay. But I mean, there's always the first time for everything, okay? But I just needed to point that out during this live stream over here. So this is the first pickle that I see for everyone saying, okay, they're leaving crypto. I see some thumbnails today, people saying they're leaving crypto. I'm not going to mention any names, and right? And I'm just saying that this, where we are right now, we need to pay attention. We really, really need to pay attention. If you're getting bored and you're one of the people that believe we're going here to $39,000, $25,000, right? It's not the time now to stop paying attention. Okay. A high time frame or a high volume candle like this, the highest that we've seen, okay, since 8 November 2022, we've seen the highest volume candle over here, usually signifies the end of something and the start of something new. So this could be the end of something, and this impulse or the momentum here to the upside could be the start of something new. Right? I just have to put it out there. And I'm not saying that I'm just bullish. I'm just saying from a technical perspective, based on the data that I see in front of me in the chart, right? The bullish probability still has higher probability of playing out. Okay, hope that makes sense. Right, now, where it gets a little bit more interesting. So let me switch off these scenarios over here and let's dive into this price action over here, because now this is the question, okay? This structure over here just looks extremely bearish at the moment. For all the bears out there, okay, you're loving the structure here at the moment. It looks three-wavy, it looks corrective. We have we are inside the golden pocket when you take a fib from the high to the low. It looks like an ABC or a WXY here to the upside, and we're going to start building impulses to the downside. Definitely a possibility. I cannot ignore that fact that it's definitely a possibility. But what I'm saying is, if this is a WXY, which for now still carries the higher probability looking at this structure, okay, if we come back down low and we get acceptance back above this low over here, right, that is bullish. That is really bullish. You just don't want to see the momentum continue to the downside. Okay, so now it brings me to this structure. Let's go on to the 4-hour time frame and look at the structure over here. And I'm sure Andy has highlighted this as well. Now, when I look at the 4-hour time frame over here, and I switch on this one. Okay, I think I've deleted this trend. If I switch on this structure, Andy has also spoken about this. So now we found ourselves again, if all other scenarios fail, okay, this is the structure that you look at. So what I want to highlight over here is that I have seen expanding diagonals on the 4-hour, 1-hour time frames. So it's not impossible for this to play out. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. I've just never seen them on higher time frames like the daily and the weekly time frames. Okay, especially on Bitcoin. I'm not talking about commodities like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, gold, silver, platinum. I'm not talking about those commodities. They do play out there as well. Okay, so now we find ourselves in a pickle. So from a bearish case perspective that I've just shown you on the daily, we have a similar pattern just in reverse. Now where we are, where everyone is calling for us to come and take the lows and go to $40,000, we are now also in okay, there's two more bullish structures over here. It's this very rare one over here that I'm sharing with you now that is still valid, where you basically, it is made up of 3-wave structures. It doesn't have to be 5-wave structures, where you have a 1, 2, 3, 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 and you can have a 1, 2, 3 to the upside. So it has 3 wave structures making up each wave. And then you'll have an ABC that can come down quite far, maybe even come down to this pivot over here, but it has to have a maximum target of the 786. Okay. We don't know. So let's say it does come to the top of this channel, right? Maximum target is the 786. And preferably inside the golden zone or the 618, where you basically grab the liquidity below this low, and then you can have massive continuation here to the upside to go and build that third wave. And if you take a fib extension from the low to the high to the low, you can go and work out where the third wave can end. Okay, so I just want to point out that there's a possibility that the structure can play out. It is a rare pattern and only referred to once all other scenarios fail. And this is why I'm saying that perhaps, okay, just for the bulls out there, because I'm going to go through the bearish case scenario now as well, is that there's still a chance. There is definitely still a chance that the low could be in. The fear and greed index is at fear at the moment. No one wants to buy Bitcoin at the moment. No one wants to buy altcoins at the moment. There's no retail in the market. It's just, people have lost patience. People have lost hope. People think that we're going back to a guaranteed. Okay, I see some of the comments on social media. It's guaranteed we're going to 45K. It's guaranteed. And I just like to say that nothing is guaranteed in this market. The last bullish scenario that I have over here is, and I'll go through the comments in a moment. I'm on a roll because we are in a pickle, and I want to share this pickle with you, everyone over here. Okay, the last bullish scenario that I have over here, I don't actually think I mapped it out, but it's basically, let me just take this out the way, is a 1-1-2 combo where you have 1-2, 1-2, and this better be the low, right? This better be the low, and you are going to start building impulses here to the upside, a third wave, okay? Where for now, this bullish case scenario has higher probability than the expanding diagonal that I've just shared, because the expanding diagonal rule states if all other scenarios fail, that is something that you look at. This scenario is still intact. Okay, there's a couple of rules for this scenario. It's to say that ideally it doesn't invalidate it. You want the second one to be smaller than the first one too. So if I measure the first, that's what I wanted to do. If I measure the first 1-2, you can see we didn't even hit the 1-to-1 extension. So if the price did this, okay, then I could have said, okay, it now carries lower probability, because ideally you want this 1-2 to be smaller than this 1-2. And you can see we tapped the 0.618 over here, right, which it is. It's smaller. This 1-2 is smaller than this 1-2. So tick, a big tick. Okay, that's what you want to see in a 1-1-2. Another scenario is that when you take a fib, okay, normal Fibonacci, from the high to the low, or from the low to the high, you ideally don't want to see a retracement deeper than the 786. Okay, that is an ideal scenario, but it doesn't invalidate it. The hardcore invalidation that completely writes off the scenario is that wave 2 is not allowed to retrace 99% of wave 1. So you literally can fall down and you can turn around just before you take the low. Okay, and it is still considered a valid 1-2 because the hardcore invalidation is taking this low. So this is now where it becomes a little bit dangerous where the price is at the moment, because when I measure this 1-2, okay, when I take a fib from the low to the high, you can see, let me just make sure, we actually didn't tap the 0.88 just as yet. We literally just front run it. You can see when I zoom in here, we didn't tap the 0.88. Almost tapped it, but we didn't tap it yet. Okay. So, like I've just said, you really actually, you want a maximum target of the 786, but the invalidation is taking this low. So price can still fall down here. And if it turns around before taking the low, the 1-1-2 is still valid. It's still valid. Okay. The invalidation for the 1-1-2 is taking this low. Okay. Hope that makes sense. And it will also invalidate the expanding diagonal that I've just shown you, where we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have that expanding trumpet. Okay. Once you take this low, it invalidates the 1-1-2 and it invalidates the other bullish scenario. So for now, it is really nervous where we are at the moment. Okay. We are so close to this low. It looks like we want to take it, right? So for the bulls, you want this low to hold. If we take the high before we take the low, the bullish scenario is still intact. okay, because then you're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you take the low, then this is considered a correction of this expanding diagonal. Hardcore invalidation is not taking the low over here, and then you can still expect a massive explosive third wave here to the upside. So what I'm trying to highlight over here is that there's still some water that needs to flow under the bridge before the bullish scenarios are invalidated. Okay. Let me go through some comments and then we can go talk about the bearish case scenarios. Okay, because yes, I can't just be bullish. There's definitely some bearish case scenarios that we need to keep an eye on. So, I mean, what if this is a WXY or an ABC? Okay, definitely a possibility. Any move here up could definitely form a lower high where you then form a 1, 2, 3 to the downside where you're going to take the low. So we can go through those scenarios. Let me go through some comments and say hi to the beautiful community. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Let me go a little bit up here. Just make sure. Mr. MK1 Alexander, for the record, I didn't take profit in my trade last week and got stopped out at a tiny profit on the next trade. Okay, cool. At least you made some profits. Crypto knowledge, are we hitting support for a long scalp? I think I'll buy it at the moment where we are right now. Okay. I'm actually still, let me just check here. Ooh, I'm in nice profits in my short at the moment. Okay. Right. With spider lines, these have to be charted out. Okay. I have heard about the spider lines. I've just never used them. Okay. And quite frankly, I have never used moving averages. There's so many technical tools, indicators, there's thousands of things that you can use. You just need to find the one that suits your personality, that makes sense for you. And when you back test it, you can still, and the results show you that you're still making more money than what you are losing, then use it, right? Please use it. But don't be that person that jumped from indicator to indicator, and every week you have something new and you are just experimenting with every single indicator, never making money consistently week after week, month after month, year after year, right? You need to find the strategy that works for you. So when I say I don't use moving averages and the spider lines, that person, I'm not bad mouthing those indicators because you might have a strategy that they work beautifully with, okay? I don't need them because I make money using my strategy. So I'm sharing with you my strategy. And by all means, if you have a different successful strategy, I'm not saying it doesn't work because my strategy works. There's many strategies that I know that work, okay? You just need to find the one that works for you. Okay, it's as simple as that. I have done it correctly. Just want to ask 𝗬𝗍𝗿 what he thinks on spider lines. Yeah, I think I've just answered that. I have no idea what you mean by spider lines. I've heard about it. I don't use it. Okay. I don't need to use spider lines and moving averages and MACDs to be a profitable trader. Okay. As you can see, right, the only indicator that I have here is CVD. This is the only indicator that I use is CVD. Okay. The session volume profile and the VRVP, I mean, I don't really think that they are indicators for me. They are, it shows you the volume, and based on the volume that I see, I can have lines and point of controls to make trading decisions. It doesn't show me when I need to enter or when I need to short. It tells me that when price gets there, I need to, according to my trading strategy, decide whether I'm entering a short or a long. Okay. So, I mean, I know they've got them listed under indicators, but I mean, volume is also listed under indicators, but I don't really see them as indicators. I see these things as tools. The only thing that I will classify as an indicator is the CVD that I use. So I only use one indicator. And part of my trading strategy is to keep my chart as clean as possible. A clean kitchen makes good food. That's what I say. Okay. When I see people sharing their charts, okay, that's got so much crap on it, you can't even see the price action. I can't help but wonder if the person is successful in trading. Okay. Yeah, really. Right. But I mean, each to their own. Okay. I didn't have the, okay. Right, I've posted a picture in your group section. BTC is just epic how they line up as support and resistance. Let me go check. Where did you list it? Did you list it on Bitcoin? Okay, let me know in the comments where you listed it, and then I can have a look at it. I mean, I don't mind trying new things. I have. When I started out as a trader, I have tried, guys, I have tried everything. I've watched so many videos, short TikToks. What are these indicators that you pay for? I can't even remember the names. The ones that show you the buy and sell signals. Is it the Atlas? I can't. The Lux algos. The Lux algos. I've tried all of them. For me, they just didn't work. Okay, I've tried all of them, and at the end of the day, it was simple daily, weekly levels. A little bit of Elliott wave theory that's also helped me along. Okay, not the most easiest thing to learn Elliott wave theory, but even without Elliott wave theory, using my one-line trend strategy, I still made profits. I mean, going back here onto the price of Bitcoin on the smaller time frames, you guys can see. I mean, let me just switch on my trends. Okay, you could have played the breakout over here. You could have played the retest over here. You could have claimed the high. So there's a successful trade just based on one trend line. There's a successful trade right in front of you. Okay. So, I mean, you just need to know where to take profits. You need to know where to put your stop loss. That is trading, okay? Regardless of which trading strategy you use, you still need to learn where to put your stop loss and where to take profits, because people get greedy and then they don't take profits where they're supposed to take profits, and then they get stopped out at break even, or they don't get stopped out, and some people trade without stop losses and they bleed out their accounts, okay? Or they just entering the entire account at 50x leverage. And then when they do get stopped out, they've got a 50% hole in their account. Okay, so based on a simple trend line over here that I shared this morning as well, connecting the high, connecting the pivot over here, successful breakout. You could have played the breakout or waited. Okay, waited for the retest. So on the smaller time frame, this is what I waited for. Okay, I saw the breakout, but I waited, and I had a trend over here. Where was my trend? Was my trend over there? Yes, that was where my trend was. So I saw the breakout. I was like, no. And I played this breakout. We claimed the high. I took profits and I entered a short. And the reason I entered the short is because I saw, okay, from the low to the high of this wave, we tapped the 0.618. 0.618 is such an important level. If you go back test the 0.8, if you go and measure all the waves since 3 years ago, you will see how significant this level is and how many rejections we got from this level. You could literally just measure out waves and say, I'm calling it the 1.618 strategy. As soon as we hit this level and we get rejected, I'm putting my stop loss. I know where to put my stop loss, and I'm going to take profits by the low. Okay, that could be your strategy. And every time it happens, that's all you do. That's all you do. But you're consistent with it. You never enter more than what you can afford to lose. Basically, you're entering with the same amount every single time. You have a tight invalidation. Okay, you know exactly where to take profits. You will make money. You can design your own strategy, right? I mean, this 1.618 level is so powerful. But the reason this level was also so powerful for me here to the upside is because I saw the contracting leading diagonal. Okay, so I played the short over here. I took profits by the lows, trade in the bag. And then I saw, okay, we broke back. Well done. And then we had a naked point of control over here. We had some high time frame candle closes above, and this is where I shared with the legends. If we have high time frame candle closes above, let me go to the 15-minute. Okay, yes, we had a 15-minute body candle close above. I told the legends the retracement is going to be a buy the dip opportunity for me, and it also bounced here nicely on the trend. Okay, so that was a buy the dip opportunity. We had the breakout here to the upside, trend line, okay, bullish flag over here, bullish pennant, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to play the breakout. So I don't need any indicators for all the trades that I took here to the up and to the downside. I didn't use any indicators. Okay, yes, I did look at CVD, but CVD was even confusing for me here, because as we had the momentum here to the upside, I mean, look at this. So, and this is why the more indicators you have, you're going to confuse yourself, because you're going to go into a trade paralysis. Okay, because just think about it. You have 5, 6, 7, 4, 2 indicators on your chart. The one indicator is showing you to short. The other indicator is showing you to long. The other one is showing you neutral, no, do nothing, no trade zone, for example. So you can find yourself in such a pickle, as per the thumbnail, that you don't know what to do. And that is why I've learned the less noise you have on your chart, the better trading decisions you can make. Because even the CVD indicator, that I still consider the most powerful indicator, has let me down today. Because as price, sorry, I am stuffing around here. Right, let's try again. Why is that not going away? Sorry, legends, that thing is not going away. But what I'm trying to highlight, I'm not sure why this. Okay, here we go. Okay, as price was moving up here, we had bearish CVD, insanely bearish CVD. And when you see bearish CVD like this, it means the target is the low. Okay, so the CVD let me down today, because if I didn't long this retracement over here purely based on one indicator, I would have missed a trade. But I decided to trade the price action and ignore CVD. And I think this morning during my YouTube update as well, I also mentioned CVD is showing me that we can come and take the lows, but price action is showing me that we can go higher. So I made a trading decision based on price action, because it has tricked me like that in the past, and I was just like, no, leading diagonal retracement, I'm going to long this puppy here to the upside, because I can exercise such good risk management. I know exactly where to put my stop loss. I'm going to give it a go. And then we had the breakout, and then, I mean, I closed 80% of my position over here. I now actually got stopped out of the position, and I entered a short. Okay, so okay, I actually need to take some profits on my shorts. Let me just give me a moment over here. I'm so into the stream, I like to take profits as just to pay myself a little bit. Okay, cool. So just taking some profits over there. So legends, I know I've said a lot today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the analysis. What I shared over here is okay, I know I've harped on the indicator thing, and you know, I just want you guys to be clear that it's not that I don't like any other indicator, or I'm saying that you cannot be successful by using 10 indicators on your chart. It's just I've learned, okay, that you don't need all of them if you have a proper trading strategy. Less is more, I guarantee it, because I've often found myself when I started out in the game, I had so many indicators on here, okay, that the one says short, the one says long, and you feel like a chameleon on the smarty box. You know, you just don't know which way to go anymore. Okay, and then I started removing, and I started removing, and I started removing, and I started back testing, and I back tested, and I back tested, and then I found a strategy where I only need one indicator. And it's also been for very long that I traded without CVD. I only recently discovered CVD, and when I say recently, I've only been using it for about a year now, I think. And right, but more often than not, it does actually tell me, okay, it gives me the right information, but sometimes it plays tricks on you, and then you have momentum back to the upside. Okay, right, let me go through some more comments. Anyone still looking at the moon phases? Yes, I always look at the moon phases. I think we are still in the blue moon. Okay, we are. Let me just switch off the VRVP over here. Moon phases, I think we are still in the blue moon over here. Okay, so definitely still a possibility for a bounce. We don't know, right? We trade level to level. That's what keeps us successful as traders. Right. Okay, then from a bearish case scenario, I mean, I just have to highlight the bearish case scenario so that everyone doesn't say that Devil only looks at bullish case scenarios. We still have a WXY, okay? And without going to switch on the scenario, where we're basically looking at a WXY finished. And now we're going to start building impulses to the downside. In Friday's live stream, I actually went in detail about the scenario where even if we have a successful breakout here to the upside, we must be careful because we can still reject here by this trend, okay, and fall down where you're basically forming a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. So I just want to highlight that this bearish scenario, or even an ABC, WXY, whatever you want to call this corrective structure, still at the moment has the highest probability of playing out. So please, don't quote me as being only a bull here. I'm just saying that the bearish structure still has the higher probability of playing out. And I also think that is why everyone on social media is so bearish, because no one can see the bullishness in the structure. And maybe I need to be proved wrong over here, and I'm more than willing to come onto the live stream and say, guys, I was wrong once we take this low. But I'm still in the camp of every bullish looking structure has failed us, okay, in this entire consolidation that we were in. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It failed us. It took the lows. We had 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. A massively looking bullish structure where you want that retracement and continuation to the upside. It failed us. Now we have a bearish looking structure that ended on the most volume in this entire range, which usually signifies the beginning and the start of something new, or the end of something and the start of something new. Maybe, just maybe, this will be the structure that's going to take us to all-time highs. We just have to be open to that suggestion. And that's why I'm saying we have to pay attention. Now is not the time to sleep. Okay? Because if you are someone that's waiting for $45,000, what if we don't get it? You just have to think about that. What if we don't get it? Then you are going to be forced, okay, if you are that person that's only waiting for $45,000 and you've got limit orders set over there and you won't even look at price of Bitcoin or any altcoin until we hit that level. What if, okay, this happens? Where are you going to buy? Okay, where are you going to buy? And that is why DCAing is always such a great strategy. This is why I started DCAing 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago when we had that bloodbath here to the downside. This is why I bought some altcoins, because you never know if it's going to be the low. And yes, if the bearish scenario does play out and we tank down here, guess what? I will be buying a little bit more. Okay, actually, okay, maybe not that far. You want us to stop over here somewhere. Okay, but yeah, I will be buying aggressively, a lot more aggressive than what I bought over here. Okay, but this is not the time to sleep. Okay, this is the time to pay attention, because this is all I'm trying to highlight. This could be the low. You just never know. Okay, legends. Let me go through some more comments over here. Join the Legends community. Yes, also down in the description, that insane, okay, that absolute insane. Let me just do this. Share it with everyone over here. Absolute insane 10% cash back on the money that you deposit into Bluffin, right? Just by putting your money there in Bluffin, you get 10% cash back. You have to leave your money there for the duration of the campaign, and you can trade with that cash, okay? Up to $4,000 is the max 10% that you'll get. So basically, up to $40,000, you will get $4,000 deposited as a feature bonus for yourself, airdropped into your account to trade with. Right. I mean, there's some news that I can go through. There was a couple of something interesting that I just wanted to see over here. I'm not a big fan of fractals. That's what they call it. Bitcoin against the US dollar, okay, where they're comparing 2023 against 2024, right? Very similar price action. I must say it does look very similar. It's time to pay attention. We might get a rampage here to the upside that no one is seeing. I'm still seeing a little bit of bullish sentiment out there. Also, people are saying don't look at the month of September by itself. Look at the quarters. Quarter 4, which we are now entering, has historically been the most bullish quarter. So it really is time to pay attention and not sleep and wait for $45,000. So we are entering quarter 4, which is considered the most bullish quarter. Right, what else? Just quickly running through it. I think, yeah, that's basically what I wanted to cover over here. Okay, let me go through some. Do you trade a specific session? No, I don't. I know there's a couple of people, or there's one person that I follow that trades specific sessions, and that is an entire trading strategy by itself. Okay. New York session, Asia session. No, I don't. I trade based on the price action that I see in front of me, and when my alarms go off, that's when I trade. Because you will sometimes see that a New York session for this week has the bullish momentum inside of it, and then after a week it's the Asia session, and then after that it's another session. So I haven't found consistency where a specific session gives you the price action that you're looking for. So for me, it's about setting my alarms. That you can see I've got my alarm here on my trend. When my alarm went off, I paid attention. Also, when I sit in front of my PC and I analyze the chart, I will have my levels drawn out. When my alarm goes off, okay, that's where I pay attention. I don't care about sessions. So no, I know that some people are very successful in trading New York sessions, Asia sessions. It's not my trading strategy. Okay, tag you for the spider lines in the group. Okay, cool. I will go and have a look at it after the fact. Maybe I'll discuss it tomorrow in my live stream, or Wednesday, or maybe I'll just comment there inside of Discord. Let me check here. Altcoins. It's not this one. Okay. I can't seem to find it now, but I need to go and scratch around a little bit. Right. What else? Tag you for the is it possible to subscribe using crypto? Yes, you can pay in cryptos. I think it is possible. Just log a support ticket. They'll be able to sort you out. What about Wyckoff pattern playing out? I have looked at the Wyckoff pattern, but I'll be honest with you. You know, Wyckoff distribution, accumulation. It's just there's a couple of things about the Wyckoff pattern that I don't like, and it's this low. Okay, I don't like this low. So up until this point, the Wyckoff distribution pattern makes perfect sense. Okay, and then when we make this low, not so much anymore, because you have your creek here to the downside, you have your spring point, all makes sense, and we were supposed to go higher from here. So yeah, I'm not paying too much attention to the Wyckoff pattern here at the moment. Okay. I will go and look at it again, and maybe I just analyzed it incorrectly, but I saw some other people also talking about it and saying that they made up some word for this week here to the downside, which I don't agree with, because it's not in alignment with the actual pattern. Okay, Wyckoff pattern, yes. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Smash the like on your way out. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed for future notifications, and until the next one, cheers for now.